In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Hello everyone, Science Viking here, and yep, I am back to Darkest Dungeon. I've been away for a while actually because work has picked up, so I've been really busy with that for the last few weeks, and unfortunately that's going to continue for a while, so I won't be able to upload on a weekly schedule for a little while. But I'm here now, so let's get to it. I've got a caregivers convention, and I haven't taken advantage of it yet, so may as well start by treating our diseases. Let's see, who all has any diseases? Bring out your diseases! Okay, that's all the diseases. Now let's see if anyone has any psychological characteristics I don't like. Okay, Bertrand, I don't like the fact that he keeps trying to steal from me. So, let's treat his plutomania. And while we're at it, let's see, Eldritch Hater, Healer's Gift, Beast Slayer, or Unerring. Let's see, Unerring is the least useful. Healer's Gift is okay, but I don't use healing skills while camping very often. Of course, Eldritch Hater and Beast Slayer both have the same problem of being, Actually, Beast Slayer is pretty okay, because the thing is it increases his accuracy, which is useful when he's trying to inflict blight. So let's go with that. Let's see, Koliar is obsessed with killing, he believes he's possessed with demons, and has reduced speed on the first round. I probably want to treat one of those. Clarinel is bloodthirsty and clumsy. I'm prioritizing treating the high-ranking people because it would be more expensive to treat them otherwise. Let's see. Damour's necromania could be a real problem. I'm actually going to put Sword of All... Actually, I'm not sure I want to put Sword of All in here. Fated is good, but a Man-at-Arms isn't really a damage character. You know, I'll put him in here. We can lock in Fated, because the thing is, that also applies to abilities like Rampart, which don't do damage but have other useful effects. And then, let's see, reduced disease resistance is a bit of a problem. I don't care about scattering because he has no ranged attacks. Increased stress if the torch level is high, that could be a problem. Though, necromania is also a problem. I'll go with the increased stress as being the larger problem. Let's see, how's Vasta? God-fearing isn't really a problem. Weapon Tinker is useless. Let's see, Night Blindness isn't really a problem either, because I don't really allow the torch level to get that low, mostly. Reduced Blight Resistance is a bit of a problem, but Adrenaline Rush cures Blight. Obsession with Killing could be a problem, but I honestly would feel kind of bad about getting rid of the Hellions' obsession with killing. And generally not dealing... So, Lygophobia is another way in which she doesn't deal well with the torch level being low. Well, I don't like to allow the torch level to be low, so that isn't much of a problem. I see. Damour being evasive could be good. Clarinel doesn't really have any good positive quirks to lock in. Let's see. Neither does Koliar in terms of skills to lock in, though increased scouting chance in the Cove is alright. I almost wish there was a way to forcibly remove remove positive quirks so that you can get them reshuffled. You know, I'm actually going to put Vayne in here, because if I can lock in Clutch Hitter, increased critical if he's at low HP, a lot of times, especially with bounty hunters, if the fight is going badly, I'll have the bounty hunter just focus on ending the fight now so that we don't take any more damage. And Clutch Hitter can be good for that. Not sure about Guilty Conscience versus Compulsive versus Necromania, because it's unclear to me what all they do. Especially Guilty Conscience. I'm gonna go with Guilty Conscience. Since it can't be gotten rid of naturally, I'll focus on getting rid of it. I want to be a better person. Let's see about upgrading combat skills. Not a whole lot to upgrade, at least for our highest level people. Let's see. Toxin Trickery might be useful for Clarinel, but for the most part it isn't. Let's see about the Vestals first. Let's see. I could upgrade Damour's Judgment, but I'm going to let that wait. Before I do that, Dazzling Light, Divine Grace, and Divine Comfort really should be maxed out for Sigmund. I believe Bertulli is... Yep, he's maxed out. How's Vastal? The skills I care about for Vastal are maxed out. Same thing with Bowen. Let's see. Withstand is okay. Upgrading Purge does not increase the accuracy buff. If upgrading Purge increased the accuracy buff, I'd be upgrading. Let's see, Adonel is good. The experienced people are all pretty well upgraded, I think. So, let's see. He has Koliar has Harvest, Slice Off, and Battle Ballad maxed out. So I could potentially upgrade Solo, Finale, Dirk Stab, or Inspiring Tune. Though upgrading Inspiring Tune wouldn't improve it very much. How's Lovett? Oh, Lovett's good. Well, I suppose I can reinvest in my Antiquarian. Invigorating Vapors is okay. But for the most part, there's not a lot to upgrade for her. Well, let's pop over to the blacksmith so we can get there. Let's see. Unfortunately, a lot of that... Oh, I'm not, yes, I just said unfortunately I don't have things to spend gold on, but a lot of my heroes' equipment is also pretty much maxed out relative to their resolve level. This is the problem with my heroes not really surviving for very long. Let's see. Damour's weapon could be upgraded. Clarinel is completely maxed out. Gueron is effectively maxed out. You know what? Let's go pay a visit. Pay a visit to the... We're visiting the Survivalist! Let's pay a visit to the Survivalist and see what we can get from there. Let's see. Damour has Sanctuary, Bless, which is situationally good. If she's in the same party as a leper, it could be great. Chant, which is also somewhat situational. Wound Care. What she could get is Pray. Wait. So... both Chant and Pray reduce stress. Chant reduces the hero's stress intake. Pray increases their protection. I think I want her knowing Pray. And Encourage isn't an amazing ability, but it can be useful to reduce one hero's stress if we're trying to get someone out of being afflicted. Pew Show's good, or Pew Show, I'm not sure whether that's an F or a P. Let's see, Clarinel... She could learn Pilfer, Wound Care, or Encourage. Which one seems most likely to be helpful? I think I'll go with Encourage. And for the rest, I think I'll save my gold until we have more opportunities to upgrade people. Well, we'll see if the Nomad has anything good. She really doesn't. Other than the Fasting Seal, which we can't afford. So we're just gonna have to live without it. Well, it's questing time! Let's see what we can do. I could take on the Gibbering Prophet, which would give me the Prophet's Eye. Increased accuracy and speed, and reduced stress as long as you're in position 4, along with a Tough Ring, which is very good for a man-at-arms. Let's see. I could also clear a path to the boss in one of these. I could get Padlock of Transference for the, as well as triggering the Lost and Found event, which is, admittedly, Lost and Found is pretty mediocre. Gentle Tide, which would allow me to advance towards a more difficult. Let me see something. Which would allow me to make progress towards taking on the Cove boss. You know, what kind of a team could I put together to take on the Prophet? Let's assume that I wanted to send in a team of all Resolve level 6 people. So, what could I send in? Koliar, his stress level is high, but he has the ability to reduce stress. Clarinel, who can pretty reliably damage the Prophet regardless of what position he's in. Damour, who is just an extremely skilled Vestal. That just means we need a good front runner. Do we have a good front runner? Unfortunately, Sordaval is in the clinic, but really Sordaval isn't terribly useful for this situation, because the thing is, Sordaval specializes in tanking hits directed at other heroes, which isn't useful because of the way Rubble of Ruin works. By comparison, a Crusader with Inspiring Cry, which he can use to heal his teammates to get them off of Death's Door, could be considerably more useful. So, I think that's what I'm going to do. Adenel, Koliar, Clarinel, all of whose abilities can be used in position 2. And Damour. So I need to take Sigmund's 2 trinkets away. Ancestor's Scroll, and because this way I have 2 different heroes with healing abilities, and Damour has the ability to heal everyone, which can keep us off of Death's Door after Rubble of Ruin. I'm going to trade Chant for Prey. Sanctuary is still good because somebody needs to prevent nighttime ambushes. Let's see. Every rose has its thorn, Tiger Eye. Mockery I don't like very much. Alright, I like his, I like Koliar's, camping skills, that's the word I'm looking for. Sort by character class restriction. And also, as if to provide an appropriate atmosphere, there's a thunderstorm happening outside right now. Okay. I could equip Koliar with the Hag's Lid. You know, Koliar shouldn't be on this mission. Never mind. He specializes in inflicting bleed, his stress management is helpful, but Vastal is the hero we really want on this mission. She has the ability to inflict bleed with if it bleeds, but for the most part, we want somebody who can just hit hard, and then Adenel can be in position 2. And also, Vastal having access to Adrenaline Rush gives me a 3rd healing. Alright. Let's see. Bleeding Pendant isn't useful. Neither really is Hell's Hairpin. Let's see. The Ethereal Crucifix does extra damage to Eldritch, extra Virtue Chance, increased prot and max HP at the expense of damage. That's the opposite of what I should give a Hellion. Let's see. Gambler's Charm, Heavy Boots. You know, Heavy Boots would actually be good because the Hellion would be seriously messed up if she was knocked out of position 1. Other than that, I don't really have a whole lot that would go well for her. I suppose the Life Crystal's a pretty good start. Let's see. Paralyzer's Crest and the Holy Orders, that's pretty good for you. Sickening Satchel and Blighting Satchel, I like that combination. Alright. I'd say we're essentially prepared. So, well, we're as prepared as we're gonna be. Of course, the thunder outside my window insists on being ominous. But here we go. I'm not forgetting to bring food. Not forgetting to bring shovels. We don't need that many. Getting a decent amount of anti-venom and plenty of bandages. A couple of medicinal herbs, but we don't get much use out of them here. I don't need that many keys. A little bit of holy water, and don't spare the torches. Alright. And I do have a couple of different hero skills that increase the torch level. Let us begin.
Finally, resigned to his uncommon corporeal resilience, I lured him to the dig. There, I showed him the thing, and detailed the full extent of my plans. Triumphantly, I watched as he tore his eyes from their sockets, and ran shrieking into the shadows, wailing maniacally that the end was upon us all. The echoes of his mindless tittering reverberate maddeningly.
Well, it's not very often in a video game that your narrator is a supervillain, but that's basically what we've got here.
Ambushed by foul invention.
Oh, heirlooms. Of course, we managed to take damage in the first hallway without any combat, so that bodes well. And not exactly the most generous. We got a trap, an empty room, a trap, and then a room battle with nothing else in that room. Yeah, it's really trying to discourage us. I suppose it's telling us that the prophet should just be left alone because he's suffered enough. Now let's see if we can get rid of the Bone Bearer quick. Zealous Accusation to hit the stealth guy for not enough damage. And Iron Swan. That won't take him out, but Thrown Dagger probably will next turn. In the meantime, who would it be most helpful to stun? Probably the Lancer. Well, it would have been helpful. And now they get a full round to wail on us. Clarinel's stress is high already. Oh, I was definitely right about the right target to stun. Wicked Surge. Okay, plus 25% damage passively, and then an even larger damage buff from Wicked Surge. We're in some trouble.
Unnerved,
that just about says it. That just about says everything you need to know about this game. So it is literally our first battle, and someone is already both afflicted and at death's door.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Okay, at least that missed. My heart was in my throat for a second. Alright, get Clarinel off of death's door for a minute. Alright, I go with Divine Comfort because everyone is messed up
war
right now.
can be healed, but never hidden.
We could hack on the one with the fewest hit points. Alright. Fortunately, the one corpse is all the way in the back, so it at least isn't in the way. And let's just finish off the Bone Sergeant. Fewer enemies...
No quarter.
The fewer attacks that they get, the better. Let's keep using Inspiring Cry. See if we can keep Clarinel's stress level down.
The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
And Vastal has 0 stress and just keeps hacking away at the enemies. I just imagine her looking back and being like, I'm fine, what's wrong with you guys? Come on, there's no problem, we got this. Oh, and he's been reduced to using Knife in the Dark, too. In that case, I'll keep Inspiring Crying Clarinel. Of course, she's already been dead, so she knows what it's like over there. That's probably why she's so worried. And Wicked Hack should finish the job. And it does.
Falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Well, that fight turned around quick. Oh. What a fantastic way to inflict death on someone. Well, at least she resisted the disease. Another Bone Bearer already? And Clarinel decided to take a coffee break to prevent us from taking it out. See, 90% stun resistance, 140% base stun chance. Let's see if we can stun the general. Alright. And Wicked Surge, which is the reason why we need to take out the Bone Bearer quickly. Well, even with a critical, Iron Swan is not one-shotting that thing. Let's just try and repair the Crusader. Great, Wicked Surge on the General. This is bad. Poison Darts on the Bone Bearer. Poison Miss. And of course, she would put Adenel in. You know, that's actually kind of a good thing. She put Adenel into the range of Quarrel. Because we keep Inspiring Crying the Grave Robber. Yeah, Grave Robber is the correct name for it.
A hand's breadth from becoming unwound.
That's bad. I took some stress damage from that one. And unfortunately, the Bone Bearer is actually quite durable. Just gonna keep going with Poison Barts, because we need to get rid of the Bone Bearer. The Bone Bearer needs to die. And at least it can't inflict damage. So that means that when it's the Bone Bearer's turn, I don't need to worry about it taking Clarinel off of death's door and actually
only to breathe again.
Okay, it's blighted for 4 and it has 5. You would do that. It is just not Clarinel's day. Don't worry, Clarinel. I won't put you in the ground. Honestly, we'll just put you in the fridge because you'll be back in 5 minutes. We want to make sure you stay fresh. Okay, it didn't go down easy like the last one did, but the Bone Bearer is done. Alright, at this point I was moving Clarinel back into her actual position. Stunning Blow on the General, because he doesn't have elevated stun resistance anymore. We want to keep him stunned as much as we can. Wicked Hack can't reach the other one, so I'll just try to take out the General. Divine Comfort. Yeah, heal everyone. This is already going all kinds of bad. I'll have Clarinel focus on taking out the guy with Coral, and the other two can focus on taking out the Sharpshooter. The Sharpshooter is the guy with Coral. I'm going to have Clarinel focus on taking out the Sharpshooter, and the other two can try to work together to take out the General. So his stun resistance is too high, so let's just hit him with Smite. Unfortunately, the General is going to take a little while to properly die.
Unforeseen. Unforgiving.
Alright. The fewer attacks they get, the less likely they are to manage a death blow against someone before I can heal them.
Ringing ears. Blurred vision. The end approaches.
Okay, and the Vestal is on death's door now.
Reeling. About to break.
It's 2 mortality debuffs in 2 fights. Let's see if... Alright, Clarinel, try to take out the Sharpshooter. Good! That's the end of him. Right. And I'm not risking the Vestal's life. The Vestal, just keep hacking away at that General.
A momentary
Ooh, critical healing. I gotta love critical healing. Honestly, healing criticals are my favorite kinds of criticals. And the general is basically screwed at this point. Unless he unveils some entire new ability we haven't seen yet, we got it. Having said that, I'm sure he's going to unveil some new ability we haven't seen yet. Actually, that's it. And a 26 health healing critical finishes the job.
Does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
We do have one more mortality debuff, but I believe we actually finished that fight with more hit points than we started it with. Oh, we got another room battle coming up. Here's hoping it's a more gentle room battle than the last one. Alright. Gotta be careful, I keep accidentally triggering the traps when I'm trying to disarm them. Alright, the pack contains loot. I'm gonna eat the last 2 food units so that I can take the Onyx. That's unfortunate. And what do we got this time? Okay, finally, a group that does not contain a Bone Bearer. That's helpful. Alright. I'll have Clarinel can take out the Royalty. The Hellion can take out the Witch. Unfortunately, Clarinel failed to dodge Tempting Goblet. Pick someone of your own social class. They're really focused on building Clarinel's stress level. Well, an Iron Swan critical could actually probably kill the Witch in one shot, so 71% chance to hit, and then an 18% chance to critical, so something like 10% chance that she dies. And she dies! And Graveyard Slash, as usual, does very little. As well use Divine Comfort in the hopes of critical healing to reduce the stress levels. And yes, I am trying to get Clarinel's stress low enough that she gets unafflicted, but the Bone Royalty has decided otherwise. You know, we never did discuss my expenses.
Grievous injury. Palpable fear.
Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to get rid of Clarinel's affliction without a camping skill.
Soothed. Sedated.
Can't reach the Royalty with Wicked Hack. I could hit him with If It Bleeds.
Confidence
that'll do it.
as the enemy crumbles.
Fortunately, Selfish is one of the less damaging afflictions, but it still is a pretty significant problem. Okay, 66. Let's just go with Thrown Dagger on the Sergeant. And miss for the old gods. That's always good. Stick with Inspiring Cry. See if we can get Clarinel out of me. And one critical turns it all around. Well, I don't know. Adenel is pretty durable, and we have some strong abilities. But yep, that did more damage than we can restore in a single round. Alright, one more hit on the Sergeant, and he's gone. And Squish for the old gods managed to hit. Just keep reducing the stress levels. She's down to 48. And Adrenaline Rush. This is why we have it. And let's get Adenel back up to essentially full power. Yep. Gotta love Splorch for the old gods. We're probably not going to be able to get Clarinel's stress all the way down to 0 in this fight, because if it goes on too much longer, there will be reinforcements. Though we are pretty close to the fight being done. And it's only been 5 turns, well, 6 turns now. Right.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
And there we go.
This expedition at least promises success.
Okay, I'm gonna drop... Honestly, I haven't encountered any blade. I'm gonna drop the anti-venom and the onyx for the ruby and the emerald. If we survive, I can come back for this chest. I'm not gonna worry about it just yet. Display case, let's see what's in here. Gold we can't carry. I'll drop some medicinal herbs. It was probably a mistake to bring those. Right. Ooh, and bandits! For some reason. Flashing daggers, or see if we can get rid of. She can. Clarinel can pretty much take out the cutthroat by herself by lighting it and then hitting the thrown dagger. And this is another opportunity for more inspiring cries to get the stress level lower. And the thing about this group, they don't have any abilities that directly inflict stress.
Single strike.
I mean, critical hits will inflict stress, but they don't have any abilities whose sole purpose is to inflict stress. They don't have any abilities that always inflict stress, I think. Yep, not even point blank shot.
A momentary abasement.
Keep everyone healed. And a critical would be very nice. But a critical is not very nice. But even blanket fire, which I would kind of expect to inflict stress, doesn't. Alright. And that's the end of the cutthroat. I mean, next turn is the end of the cutthroat, but... Just keep up Inspiring Cry, and in time...
A blazing star is born.
Okay, now we just need the infamous Fusilier. Ooh, punishment. Has Adenel been bad? Has Adenel been misbehaving? Poison darts and Fusilier. I really like the Grave Robber's ability to comfortably reach enemies in the backline, so she can wear down the enemy backline while my front runners deal with the enemy's front line.
A singular strike.
And I really like the Hellions' ability to just inflict obscene amounts of damage in a single hit.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
Yeah, that's the end of one of them, and the Fusilier doesn't have much longer to live. We're up plenty of bandages. Okay, and we've got Clarinel's stress level down from 100 to 12. Okay, unfortunately, that pick to the face was a bit of an error. The good thing about Clarinel, for all her other flaws, she does at least know when to duck. Okay, we literally need one critical healing from Divine Comfort, or anything else that reduces stress, and she's back to not being being afflicted.
The ground quakes.
And Vastal is still standing in the front, just looking back at the rest of the afflicted, grave robber and the high stress levels on everyone else, and is asking, basically, what's everybody else's problem? This is fine. This fight's going great.
Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue.
Okay. So they're both bleeding for 15, so I'm going to have to use some bandages on that. Unfortunately, in the process of trying to get rid of the, in the process of trying to get rid of the Clarinel, trying to get rid of the grave robber's affliction, I've been letting everyone else's stress build up a bit. Okay. That's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to disarm the trap. Trap disarm... I suppose it's appropriate for the process of disarming traps, but the trap disarming controls are rather fussy. Okay, let's go with holy water.
Packs laden with loot are often low on supplies.
2,000 gold worth of sapphires. I'm going to drop 1,750 gold worth of gold for that. And we're going to need to make camp pretty soon, but I want to resist making camp until either things get really seriously bad, or until we know where the boss is. Especially since I now have two different heroes boost damage until camp. Just keep lighting torches as we go. They really front-loaded the combat on this one. Quarrel. And much more dangerously, tempting goblet. Let's just end. Okay. The grave robber is not afflicted. I think I'm done with you? Hard. And let's just hope for a critical from Iron Swan. Oh, not this time. And bumping the knight twice. Adonel's in a bit of trouble. Well, let's get him out of a bit of trouble. I'm loving these trinkets. We got to the point where Divine Grace consistently heals for 15. Alright, and there goes the only enemy with a stress ability. Now it's all just damage.
A dizzying blow to
that said, it is a lot of damage.
Obliterated.
Thou art judged.
Sedated.
Just you know, casual critical for 47. Alright, I know I'm not going to inflict bleeding, but I now just need to cause one more point of damage and the sharpshooter is out of the game. And Thrown Dagger can provide me exactly that.
A brilliant confluence of skill and purpose.
Inspiring Cry. Adonel, just inspire yourself.
As the light gains purchase, spirits are lifted, and purpose is made clear.
It'll be a fair while before reinforcements arrive, so I can afford to spend a couple of turns healing. Alright, I'm going to take that as my sign that we need to finish this fight quickly. So pick to the face. Now whoever gets the last action this round is going to finish this thing off. Divine Comfort. 7s all around. And there we go.
These
Okay,
nightmarish
and we
creatures
can't
can
carry
be
any of
felled.
our
They
loot.
can be beaten.
I'm actually gonna drop a torch for some busts, because honestly, we have multiple different skills that increase the torch level. We don't need more than 8 torches. We do need scouting, though, and we don't have it. And we need shovels.
Even
Fortunately,
the
we have
cold
those.
stone seems bent on preventing passage.
I spent a lot of gold on those swarthy men and sturdy shovels. Right or left? This is where we make camp, because we haven't found where the boss room is, and honestly, while it's most probably one of the 2 farther rooms, it could be either of the rooms right next to us. So let's make camp and make sure we're prepared for a boss fight.
Gathered
Feast.
close in tenuous firelight and uneasy companionship.
Let's see. I'm going to start by using Sanctuary to reduce everyone's mortality to give extra healing to the 2 people with mortality debuffs. Right. Second, let's see. I can only use Stand Tall once. I'm using it on Clarinel to remove her mortality debuff. And then Zealous Speech, which reduces everyone's stress. And reduces their incoming stress. And nighttime ambushes are prevented. I'd say we're ready. Now let's just see if we can make it through this. The stress levels are even at an acceptable level. Now I just hope that we can find the boss before anything too terrible finds us. Ooh. Well, at least we dodged the trap. That is why scouting is important, though. Okay, that's not it, which means it's in the other direction. It would be. I just know the game hadn't decided where the boss room was until after I chose to go left. Sometimes I wonder, why do I love Darkest Dungeon so much when it seems to hate me sometimes? Light up another torch. I'll come back for the display case once I've killed the boss. Ooh, spiders! I think we can handle spiders. Smite. Miss. Bite.
Such a terrible assault cannot be left unanswered.
Oh right, we don't have the ability to cure blight because I figured there weren't any enemies that could inflict it. I am smart. You see, this is why throwing out the
Annihilated.
this is why throwing out the anti-venom was definitely a good idea and not at all a terrible mistake. Because that damage over time could be the difference between winning and losing. Alright, we're at least rid of the spitter, that just leaves the webber. So at least using web instead of bite. It's not even very much damage, but it goes on for so long that it could very easily kill someone if they end up at death's door. It's the only real problem with it. Right. Well, we'll at least be done with this fight soon. And honestly,
Decimated.
before we go through a door that
so clearly in view.
Before we go through a door that
Or is it
could
merely
be
a trick
the door
of
to
the
the boss
light?
room, I'm just gonna bleed off the last of Adenel's life. Because it's better for him to have lost the hit points than to wait, because if he's taken other damage, that could push him to death. Okay, this is gonna be a challenge. Clarinel, you can handle the witch. And then I'm just going to cross my fingers that I can take this thing out with Iron Swan. And Vastel has managed to survive Scorch for the old gods. She is bleeding, though. Just stun the cultist. I said stun the cultist, not wave your arms at him, Adonel. You're gonna have to try harder than that. And while Vastel could use Adrenaline Rush, we need the royalty dead now. I said we need the royalty dead now, not next turn. This should take out the witch. It did. And Tempting Goblet even missed. Stun the champion.
Great is the weapon
witch
that
dies of
cuts on its
poison.
own.
Oh, he's not in position 4 anymore. I can't hit him with Iron Sword. I can hit him with If It Bleeds, though. That's the end of the royalty. Even when it can't inflict bleeding, it's still worthwhile. And we managed to reduce their entire turn down to Graveyard Slash, which missed. And that's the end of the Sergeant. And his stun resistance is only 65%. Let's just keep him stunned.
The wounds of war can be healed.
Because that means we can at least go into the boss with full health. So, back to the face. Now his stun resistance is 115%. Stunning blow is 140% base. So we can stun him again! I love math. And there we go.
Ghoulish horrors. Brought low and driven into the mud.
Okay. And this has got to be where the boss is, because we've seen everything else. We do have a leftover shovel. Ah, great. And the decay case is trapped. Well, at least Adonel resisted the bleeding. Okay. Let's see if we can handle the prophet.
The madman hides there, behind the pews, spouting his mindless drivel.
215 hit points. It's gonna take a bit of work to kill that. Let's see. Just keep smiting. I'll have Adonel keep smiting the pews, but my primary damage dealers can both comfortably hit position 4. What's his stun resistance? 140%, which is Dazzling Light's stun base, so we're not gonna be able to stun him. However, we're also not going to be able to hit him, apparently. Rubble of Ruin. That's okay. Yeah, your wounds are mounted, but you'll be okay. Gnostication again. Thrown Dagger. And that also missed. For now, I'm aware the pews are worth money, and so there's a profit motive in taking them out, but with this team composition, I think I just want to focus on healing. I think I already have 2 people who can do pretty significant damage to position 4. When they hit, anyway. I think it's smarter to just focus on, damaging him while he's in position 4. Because if he were in position 2, if he were in position 3, I wouldn't be able to hit him with Wicked Hack or Iron Swan. And that would actually reduce the amount of damage that they can cause to him until I take out the 82 hit point fractured pew. So instead, I think I'm just going to have Adonel heal. And then Damour and Vastel can focus on inflicting damage. Critical fulminate, that's not good. Alright, adrenaline rush. If you get rid of your, Oh, I could still hit him with if it bleeds if he was in position 3, so maybe I should try to get him in position 3. Though we've made it this far and nobody is at death's door yet. And he generally doesn't hit the same position multiple times with Prognosticate. So this is still a slower fight than I'd like it to be. If I can keep Inspiring Cry to keep the Vestal from becoming afflicted, which is the main purpose of it. Okay, if it bleeds, can't reach him, but Iron Swan can. And it's boosted Iron Swan. Okay. Find Comfort, because everybody's taking damage, and it spreads out the chances for critical healing with reduced stress. Eye on You missed, at least. Rubble of Ruin cannot miss. And of course, he uses Prognostication on the hero with the most hit points. Poison Dart. He still is above 50% health. A critical or two would definitely not go amiss here. Find Comfort. Adonel's health is low, but he also isn't the target of Rubble of Ruin. I really should have targeted the Vestal with that because it restores so few hit points. Yeah, great, Fulminate. I didn't actually mean for that to run. Does Rubble of Ruin do more damage as the fight progresses?
Hold fast, or expire.
Alright. Throwing Dagger. Right, we're wearing him down, but he's wearing us down too. Adrenaline Rush. Ah, shit.
Survival is a tenuous proposition in this sprawling tomb.
Well, something had to go wrong at some point.
Soothed, sedated.
This was a rather high-risk plan. Just gonna have to have the Vestal concentrate on keeping everyone healed. Don't worry, don't worry, Clarinel, we won't put you in the ground. Right. Inspiring Cry. Doesn't matter a whole lot. Iron Swan. Iron Miss. Okay. Oh, an Eye on You did not miss. At least it didn't stun. Oh, and it did stun too. Crap. Well, critical healing at least. I said healing was my favorite kind of critical, and apparently I'm going to be getting a lot of it. Damour is at death's door now.
Terrible vistas of emptiness reveal themselves.
Just get the Vestal off of death's door. Vestal was stunned. Vestal is now. Oh, she took 0 damage. Damour is at.
Facing the abyss.
Okay, the good news is nobody who's at death's door has any damage over time effects. That's still true. Nobody who's at death's door has any damage over time effects. Okay, he at least generally doesn't hit the same place with Prognostication multiple times. Unfortunately, that last 74 hit points is going to be a bit of an obstacle. Alright. Just keep healing people to overcome the effects of damage over time, mostly. Alright, and that hit, which means it could stun.
Injury and despondence.
Which means the medic is stunned now.
Or cowardice.
Okay, just looking at the math here, without a couple of consecutive criticals, we're going to die.
Frustration and fury, more destructive than 100 cannons. Okay, get
the Vestal off of death's door, but we're just not causing enough damage. And great, and Damour is at death's door again. And stunned. Damour is about to die. There's nothing I can do to prevent it, because Rubble of Ruin will hit her while she's at death's door, and I can't prevent that from happening. I suppose it comes down to her death blow resistance, but that probably isn't high enough.
More dust.
Like I said.
More ashes. More disappointment.
And so now I'm left with the question. Do I power through? Do I try to take this guy out and just trust on my luck that I have very little of, that I can get enough damage to finish him off so that he's dead? Or do I retreat and save the two people who are still here? You know what? I was never a smart player. I'm gonna keep trying until I actually fight him. And Fulminate missed. Alright, Inspiring Cry on the one of you that's on death's door. My thread winds on. And now you're both at death's door. Alright. And Fulminate. And they survived the death blow check. I'm going to gamble on Adrenaline Rush to both get her off of death's door, cure her blight, and increase her damage. And then Adonel can use Inspiring Cry to get himself off of death's door. Rubble of Ruin will put her right back on. Now I'm just gambling that the next attack doesn't kill her. Alright, Inspiring Cry, because if she's not off death's door, her damage is reduced less. Unfortunately, she's back onto death's door because of Fulminate. Alright, Iron Swan. 16. I need it to do more than that. I need her to survive. You can dodge Rubble of Ruin? I didn't know you could do that! I didn't think it was possible to dodge Rubble of Ruin. I didn't know that could happen! Okay, I just need one more hit.
Another life wasted in the pursuit of glory.
Just need... okay. I need you to survive and hit. Alright, I need this attack to hit. 86% chance that we would...
Definition were dubious at best. In death, they are ridiculous. Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
I can't honestly say that that was worth it. I can't honestly say that that was worth it. But we did it. We got rid of the Prophet. Now let's get out of here before anything goes horribly wrong. We got him. My gamble paid off, sort of. I mean, we lost 3 champions, one of whom was tough enough to drag herself out of the afterlife to rejoin the fight. So, like I said, I can't really say it was worth it from a cost-benefit perspective, but you know what? I still feel kind of okay about it. We won.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Either way, while this is not the end for this part, I am going to get us up a fresh recording file before I proceed. So, I will be back in a moment.
All the decadent horrors I have seen pale in comparison to that final, crowning thing. I could not look, nor could I look away.
You know, I kind of want to know how it's possible for a horror to be decadent, but at the same time, honestly, I think I'm happy not knowing that. Okay, so we got an apprentice grave robber to replace the dead grave robber. Vastal is still wondering what the hell happened because, as a Hellion, she never looks backwards, and so the whole rest of the team died, and she just kind of didn't notice until she was back at the hamlet, finally turned around and asked, "Hey, where is everyone? Where'd everybody go? Are they pranking me?" Okay, we already have 2 grave robbers. I'm just going to take the 3 resolve level 3 people. That minimizes the amount of grinding we have to do.
This man understands that adversity and existence are one and the same.
At least in this game, that's the case.
Barbaric rage and unrelenting savagery make for a powerful ally.
Let's just hope she stays an ally. Do we even have an occultist? Yeah, we have one. But he's low level.
To fight the abyss, one must know it.
Alright. Oh, we got some gold and some heirlooms to spend. So the blacksmith is maxed out. What would it take to max out the sanitarium? The sanitarium is maxed out. Pretty much it's, I think, the survivalist, the nomad wagon, and the stress treatment facilities that aren't maxed out. Nope. Okay, yeah, the Abbey is actually not maxed out. 4th time's a charm, I guess. Let's increase the number of cloistering slots. Alright. Let's see, Vastal doesn't actually need to be treated for stress. Let's see. Have I actually maxed out the stagecoach? Not quite. I could upgrade the stagecoach network to give more heroes. You know, that would actually be worthwhile. Because it gives us more variety.
Word is traveling. Ambition is stirring in distant cities. We can use this.
Let's treat Vastal's Ague. Oh, minus 10% damage. That's just unacceptable for a Hellion. How many leeches does this take? More than that, Vastal. More than that. Right. Let's see. I kind of wish there was a way to, like, just search for heroes who have upgrades available, because I just kind of have to go through the whole list and find people who aren't maximally upgraded yet. Yeah, Bertulli is maximally upgraded because so many people have all of the upgrades that they can have. Yeah, this is what I'm going to have to do. I'm just going to have to scroll through the entire roster to find any upgrade that I still can get. I suppose the good news is that means we have a team of pretty well upgraded people, including some pretty well upgraded dead people. Fairfax and Seguier. I'm going to upgrade Seguier rather than Fairfax. Let's see, Colliar's maxed out. Canuville is almost maxed out. Bertrand's maxed out. The Bubonic Herald and the Malignant Mantle. I gotta admit, the maximum upgrade names are really cool. Okay, I'm gonna upgrade Vane's weapon. And you know, I'm gonna upgrade Vane's armor. And I'll just stick with upgrading equipment and have that be the sum total of the upgrade for this week. Let's see. The Vengeful Greaves are the only really good one of these, and they're not that good. So, I'd say it's time to embark. I'm probably going to want to do a short mission after how long that boss fight was. And there's not a whole lot of reason to go to the ruins. So, let's take on this apprentice level mission. Now, who do we bring? Let's see. Retuli in position 3. Drulin in position 1. And so now I want someone who can inflict marks or someone who can exploit them. Let's see, Boissel is an option. Let's see, both of my Arablasts are too high level for this. Duquesne, I mean, is going because we need a medic. And oh, I can't replace Guard Dog with anything, but you know, a Houndmaster should be a good target. He has Target Whistle, and he also has Hound's Rush, so he can benefit from marking. Right. Now let's just look into. Let's actually start by sort by character class. Let's unequip all trinkets, and then sort by character class restriction. Okay, so we do have a Sacred Scroll. And the Ancestor Scroll. Right, for you, Protective Padlock, Padlock of Transference, I like that. And then, so plus 0% Virtue chance, I'll go with Protective Padlock. Ooh, Spiked Collar. Weakens his healing, but increases his ability to inflict damage and bleed. I like it. And the Prophet's Eye is actually pretty good for an Arablast. Let's see. I might just give him the Hag's Ladle for the... I'll give him the Book of Sanity. Right, and Drulin. Hunter's Talent. Absolutely Hunter's Talent. And then... yeah, Legendary Bracer. I like this equipment set. Alright. And it's a short mission, so I don't really need to worry about camping. Still bringing plenty of torches. Plenty of anti-venom, a few bandages. I don't need that much anti-venom. Decent amount of medicinal herbs. Handful of keys. And yeah, a little holy water. And I'd say we're provisioned. Let's do this. If we make it much farther, we'll get to take on the second version of The Flesh, and we can find out even more about how evil our narrator is. You know, the more I learn about this guy, the more I start to feel like I'm just not comfortable being narrated by this guy.
They breed quickly down there in the dark. But perhaps we can slay them even faster.
Okay, this is... when they said short, they weren't kidding.
Carelessness will find no clemency in this place.
Yeah, I think the last mission taught us that pretty well. Let's see. Beast Bile, because you can hit 2 of them. And their blight resistance is actually pretty low. Collect bounty on the one in the front. Dazzling Light, because if it doesn't kill, it should at least stun.
By inches.
And that just leaves this one. Oh, Blackjack. And there we go.
The weapon that cuts on its own.
So it's our first fight in the... right. So it's our first fight in the Warrens, and we actually managed to kill something by using Blight. We're in the Bizarro Warrens. We're in like the Mirror Universe Warrens this time. And yep, now we get some cannibalism for fun and profit. Not only are we going to eat the human flesh, but we're actually going to sell it back when we get home. Hey, the narrator is my ancestor, I guess I have a bit of that in me too. Their blight resistance is actually surprisingly low. You know, I would expect it to be higher since we're in the worms, but this is a novice level mission, I suppose. Okay, target whistle on the chopper. Because now, well, when Drulin gets a turn, which may happen at some point. I mean, I'm not entirely sure he will ever get an action this way. Drums of Doom can't stun, it just gives everybody a splitting headache. And there we go.
Annihilated.
Just gonna heal up the Houndmaster. That trap really took it out on him.
Reeling.
Got another 1 damage critical. And, you know, they say fight fire with fire, well I say fight poison with poison. And Marked for Death can hit all the way in the back, as can Hound's Rush. Yes. Well, I can't reach one of these days I'll remember that Dazzling Light can't reach positions. Today is apparently not that.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken.
Quickly, painfully, this is how a life is taken. And unfortunately the drummer gets a turn. But he's gonna die on his next action, so we may as well just heal.
A rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
I mean, I think not everybody has healing abilities in this team. Well, no, but everybody who doesn't have healing abilities has at least one non-damaging ability. So, yep, we can just stall. And I think everybody's at full health, but this at least has a chance of critical healing, which will get us a stress reduction. And you know what? Collect bounty.
Eradicated.
And there we go. Ooh, plenty of loot, too.
Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Against my better judgment, let's see. Nope. So, no torch. Let's try shovel. Okay, let's just try interacting with it. There may just not be a item that I can use for that one. Oh God, no. Oh. Yes, Drulin, you should have known better. You should have known better than cannibalism. There are other options. We have 2 inventory slots full of food. The cannibalism was not necessary. If you're hungry, you should tell me. We have plenty of rations. I got animal crackers right in the bag over here. If you're hungry, just tell me that before you resort to trying to eat one of your siblings. Or the dead guy by the side of the road. I may have gone on too many long card trips. Just maybe. Okay, this group has an unfortunate combination of quirks. I may need to get that looked at. Ooh, and a map. And there's not a lot left here. And we have our requisite crazy guy. It's in our contract. There has to be at least one crazy guy in every dungeon. May as well hit the guy with a lot of damage reduction. Right, Dazzling Light on the one in the front, because you can reach him. You know, let's mark the Madman for death. Because once we do that, we can miss, because it's a Houndmaster, and that's basically their job. Wait, Accusation can do health damage?
Even the boldest gaze.
I mean, I'm sure I've seen it do that before, but that's just hilarious. It's like, you literally managed to, like, injure. It's like, wow, he yelled. I know words can hurt, but I didn't think that expression was literal. But nope, in Darkest Dungeon, words can literally cause bruises. In fact, considering the fact that he could theoretically have been at death's door, words can kill in Darkest Dungeon.
Unforgiving.
Oh, collect bounty, can't reach. Well, this thing is technically human.
Another
So,
one
ooh,
falls.
maybe that may have been mildly excessive. 23 damage when he had 8 hit points. That may have been overkill. Alright. I swear the Houndmasters do this just to torment me.
Continually
It's like they get together behind my back and they're like, okay, let's mess with Viking. Let's all miss. Let's like synchronize our missing. And then we'll just pretend that it's just a Houndmaster thing and we're not doing it on purpose.
Faint hope blossoms.
Alright, we're almost there.
Such
And?
blockages are unsurprising. These tunnels predate even the earliest settlers.
You know, let's see what happens. Nothing? Not even any text. What was that? That was weird. What? I can't believe how effective Blight has been. Right. And let's see if we can one-shot this slasher.
Executed with impunity.
Let's just stun the other one before he can inflict any
The way
bleeding.
is lit. The path is clear. We require only the strength to follow it.
Okay, so only some words can hurt. So accusing somebody that causes health damage, just talking like generally about how doomed we are, that doesn't cause health damage. Though, you know, this actually kind of fits, because, you know, the Crusader has Zealous Accusation, and that causes damage, so apparently being accused is really seriously dangerous in
Give
Darkest
them no
Dungeon.
quarter.
Frankly, being yelled at is more dangerous than being mauled by a hound, apparently. I mean, sure, the hound does more damage if it hits you, but it
Their
won't.
formation
It's a
is
hound.
broken.
Hounds just miss. That's what they
Maintain
do.
the offensive.
Okay. I'll drop the extra stack of food for the crests. We don't need that much food. And we really need to get those quirks looked at. Ooh, maggots! No beast's bile won't kill them. It's not this turn. Alright, that one's essentially at death's door. I really wish I had Hound's Harry right now. However, if Collect Bounty hits, and it
Another
does,
abomination.
because the bounty
Cleansed
hunter is
from
not
our
a hound
lands.
master. There we go. You know, there should be stress reduction
This
when you
expedition
inflict
at
no...
least promises success.
There really should be stress reduction when you finish a fight having taken no damage. Just, that should be something that automatically reduces everybody's stress if you end the fight without anybody taking any damage. I'm actually going to use Absolution. I do need to get rid of the Fusilier, though. Mark for death. And Hound's miss. Called it. Just keep the Bloodletter stunned for
In
now.
Radiance, may we find victory.
I don't think I'm going to be able to get the Abomination stress level that low, but I figure I can at least get it started. Right? Now, use the same tactic on the Cutthroat. And... okay! Oh, we had at least some luck. Okay, he's currently 100% stun resistance, 110% stun chance. I'm gonna hit the Cutthroat.
Confidence surges
Okay, that
as
just
the enemy
leaves-
crumbles.
The Bloodletter is the only real threat, but he's a real threat. Oh, right. You know what? I'm just gonna use Collect Bounty on that.
The ground quakes.
I wasn't expecting it to do that much damage. Well, there we go. Let the Vestal finish him off.
Dissuade the sharpened blade.
May as well use Manacles on this guy, see if we can get a stun. We cannot. Bandage up the Houndmaster. Not that it's that important. And there we go. He even managed to hit this time.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
And get some quick loot. Okay. Drop the bandages for Sapphire. And let's get out of here before something terrible happens.
Some experiments should have never happened. You are doing just work ending them.
Some experiments never should have happened? So, are you gonna like split? Are you splitting hairs on this now, Mr. Crazy Narrator? You're gonna say, well, okay, so the swine were a bad idea, but you know, some of the other experiments, they weren't so bad. Okay, what of your actions were not crazy and stupid, Mr. Ancestor? The Siren? The Prophet? The Necromancer? At some point, you just gotta admit, it's not some, it's all. Ooh, and we finally have a level 3 Abomination. And the Houndmaster has a guilty conscience. Yeah, he has a guilty conscience because of the con he's performing with the other Houndmasters to convince me that they all just have bad aim. Okay, Duquesne, with your unerring, can you teach that to Tornabu? I mean, I know it's damage and not accuracy, but at least it's something. Currently, he has neither damage nor accuracy.
The poor caretaker. I fear his long-standing duties here have affected him.
Frankly, my long-standing duties here have affected me. Anyway, let's get the, yeah, it's the Abomination that needs to be treated. Let's get him treated. Anyway, after that rather bipolar set of missions, this is going to be the end for this part. Thank you all for watching. I love you all, and I'll see you next time as we work towards the few remaining bosses. I'll see you then. Hopefully that episode will come out sooner rather than later.